Most men make a huge mistake in relationships. They think being completely open, brutally honest, and telling a woman everything will make her love them more. They think vulnerability will earn them sympathy, loyalty, or even admiration. But here's the cold truth. When you reveal the wrong things, when you open doors that should have stayed shut, she'll never look at you the same way again. Attraction doesn't live in full exposure. It thrives in mystery, in strength, in the way you carry yourself. The sad reality is that most men destroy their own image in a woman's mind, not because they did something terrible, but because they said too much. They confessed things that killed the respect, the curiosity, the desire she once had. And once that respect is gone, once she sees you differently, you can never fully bring it back. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how women are drawn to men who seem like they have layers, men who don't reveal everything? That's because those men keep their power. They know some truths should stay hidden, not because they're lies, but because exposing them only weakens the frame. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 7 secrets every man must never tell a woman. These are not little details. These are deal breakers. Spill them and you'll crush her attraction. Keep them and you'll stay in control. Watch closely, because after hearing this, you'll never make the same mistake again. Secret 1. Your financial struggles. Let me tell you something most men don't realize. Women don't fall in love with your problems. They fall in love with your potential. And when it comes to money, this is one of the most dangerous areas men mess up in. You see, there's a difference between telling a woman you have ambitious goals, that you're working hard to build something, versus confessing how broke you really are, how you can't pay your bills, how your credit card debt is eating you alive. The first makes her see you as a man on a mission. The second makes her see you as a burden. Now, don't get me wrong. Being honest about your dreams, about where you're headed, is powerful. If you tell her, I'm grinding because I want to build a business, I want to reach financial freedom, that sparks respect. But the moment you unload the raw details of your financial wounds, how little you have in your account, how scared you are of the future, you've killed attraction. Why? Because no woman wants to feel like she has to carry a man. She may nod, she may say, "It's okay, I'll support you." But deep inside, respect is quietly dying. Think about it. Women are naturally wired to seek security in a partner. It's not gold digging, it's biology. If you're signaling weakness in the one area where security matters most, your ability to provide, to protect, to create stability, you've just set off alarms in her head. She doesn't see your ambition anymore. She sees risk, and nobody desires risk. Here's the truth. You can be broke today and still be respected. You can have very little and still have her admiration. If she sees you moving, hustling, progressing. What you must never do is sit her down and confess every financial struggle, every dollar you don't have, every fear you've been hiding. That doesn't make you real. It makes you look incapable. So keep your financial wounds to yourself. Share your vision, not your weakness. Show her your direction, not your despair. Because once she associates you with failure and instability, she won't see the man you are becoming. She'll only see the man you couldn't be. And trust me, once a woman sees you as incapable, she'll never look at you the same again. Secret 2. Your deep insecurities. Every man has insecurities. Maybe it's your height. Maybe it's your looks. Maybe it's the fact that you're not where you want to be in life. And in today's world, you're constantly told, just open up, be vulnerable, let her in. She'll love you more if you show her your wounds. That advice sounds poetic, but in reality, it's a trap that has destroyed countless men. Here's the hard truth. Women are not attracted to your insecurities. They are attracted to how you handle them. Let me repeat that. She doesn't fall in love with your weaknesses. She falls in love with your strength to rise above them. And the moment you sit her down and start confessing everything you hate about yourself, your doubts, your fears, The nights you stare in the mirror wondering if you're good enough, you've crossed into dangerous territory. Because in her eyes, you're not a man fighting his battles. You've just become the battle itself. At first, she might comfort you. She might say, "Don't worry, I love you just the way you are." But deep inside, a shift is happening. Respect is leaking out. Attraction is fading. She no longer sees you as the unshakable man she can lean on. She sees cracks in the foundation. And once those cracks appear, it's only a matter of time before she questions everything. Think of it this way. Imagine you're in a storm at sea. You want the captain of your ship to be calm, confident, steering through the chaos. The last thing you want is for him to turn around and say, "I'm terrified. I don't think we're going to make it." That's exactly how a woman feels when you unload your insecurities onto her. Instead of seeing you as her rock, she sees you as someone who might sink the ship. Does this mean you should fake perfection? Absolutely not. You can acknowledge challenges, but do it from a position of strength. Instead of saying, "I hate myself because I'm not successful yet," say, "I'm not where I want to be, but every day I'm moving forward." Instead of admitting, "I feel insecure around other men," say, "I know where I stand, and I'm focused on my own path." It's not about lying. It's about framing your life as a story of growth, not weakness. Because once a woman sees you drowning in your own self-doubt, she can't unsee it. Attraction dies where insecurity is confessed. Never give her the version of you that's begging for reassurance. Give her the version that keeps moving forward despite the storm. That's the man she respects. That's the man she'll never stop desiring. Secret 3. Your full dating history. Here's a brutal truth most men learn the hard way. Women don't actually want to know everything about your past. Sure, she might ask out of curiosity. She might throw in the classic, "So, how many girls have you been with?" Or, "Why did things end with your ex?" But listen carefully. Those questions are traps. She doesn't want the full story. She wants reassurance, not your entire autobiography. The biggest mistake men make? Oversharing. Telling her the exact number of women you've slept with. Giving her a play-by-play of your ex-girlfriends, your heartbreaks, the women who rejected you, or worse, the one who left you shattered. You think you're being honest, transparent, and open-hearted. But what you're really doing is destroying the mystery that keeps her curious about you. Think about it. If you tell her your body count is low, she might secretly think you're inexperienced. If you tell her it's high, she might think you're a player who can't be trusted. If you go into details about that one ex you really loved, she'll always wonder if part of your heart still belongs to another woman. No matter what you say, she will judge it. There's no winning here. And it gets worse. Once she knows the details, she will compare herself to the women from your past. She'll think, "Am I as pretty as them? Was I better in bed than her? Does he still think about that one girl?" You've just planted seeds of insecurity in her mind that will never go away. And when insecurity grows, relationships die. Here's the truth. A woman is most attracted when she feels like she's discovering you piece by piece. She wants the thrill of peeling back layers, not reading the whole book in one sitting. Your dating history should be like a locked vault. She can guess what's inside, but she never gets the full blueprint. That mystery keeps her hooked, keeps her chasing, keeps her imagining. So what do you say when she asks? You keep it short, confident, and vague. Something like, "I've had relationships. I've learned from them, and now I know what I want." That tells her everything she needs to know without telling her anything that kills attraction. Because once you spill the details, once you hand her the entire script of your past, you're no longer the man she looks at with wonder. You're just another guy who ruined the movie by spoiling the ending. Keep the past in the past, and let her focus on the man you are right now, the man she can't stop thinking about. Secret 4. Your weaknesses with other women. One of the most dangerous mistakes a man can make is confessing to his woman just how easily he gets tempted by others. Maybe you think it's being honest. Maybe you believe that if you admit you flirted, if you tell her you find other women attractive, if you confess you almost slipped up, she'll admire your transparency. Wrong. What you've really done is put a crack in her trust, and cracks only spread. Here's what happens the moment you tell her about your weakness for other women. Insecurity takes root. Even if she laughs it off or pretends it doesn't bother her, inside, she's already imagining scenarios. The next time you're late, she'll wonder. The next time you're on your phone, she'll question. The next time you so much as look at another woman, she'll picture the confession you made and think, he probably wants her too. You've poisoned her peace of mind, and once poisoned, it never fully recovers. And let's be clear, attraction to other women is natural. You're a man, you'll notice beauty. But discipline is what separates men who are respected from men who are disposable. When you parade your weakness to your partner, you're not showing strength. You're admitting lack of control. And the second she believes you can't control yourself, she'll stop seeing you as a leader. Imagine this. You're building a castle. That castle is your relationship. Every time you admit temptation or weakness with another woman, it's like you're handing her a hammer and pointing at the cracks in the walls. You've shown her exactly where to strike if she ever doubts you. You've given away your power. The irony? Women don't want to hear about other women. They want to feel like the only woman. They want to believe you're solid, grounded, and not easily swayed by a passing smile. Even if they know deep down you could have options, they don't want it thrown in their face. They don't want your confessions. They want your control. So what should you do? Keep your discipline private. If you're tempted, handle it. If you notice another woman, let the thought pass and refocus. But never, ever sit your partner down and say, I almost cheated, or that girl is so attractive. You're not building honesty, you're building suspicion. Because once she sees you as weak in the face of other women, she'll never see you as the man who can be trusted to lead her. And when trust dies, desire dies with it. Protect her peace of mind. Protect your own respect. Some truths aren't meant to be spoken. Secret 5, your over-dependency. On her, one of the biggest mistakes men make is believing that the more they depend on a woman, the more loved they'll feel. They think if they pour every ounce of emotion into her, if they confess that she's their entire world, that she'll melt and give them the devotion they crave. It sounds romantic in movies, but in real life, it's the fastest way to destroy attraction. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. No woman wants to feel like your oxygen tank. She doesn't want to carry the burden of being the sole reason you wake up in the morning, the anchor of your entire happiness. At first, it might sound sweet to her when you say, "You're my everything." But over time, that sweetness turns into pressure. Pressure to always reassure you. Pressure to never make mistakes. Pressure to stay even if she doesn't want to, because if she leaves, you'll collapse. And the moment she feels trapped in that pressure, she'll start pulling away. Women are attracted to men who have a mission, a purpose, a direction outside of the relationship. They want to join your journey, not be your journey. When you make her your whole life, you stop being the man she was drawn to, the man with ambition, goals, and drive, and you become a dependent boy clinging to his safety net. Think about it this way. Imagine you buy a powerful sports car. At first, it's exciting, thrilling, full of speed. But over time, you discover the engine only runs if you constantly push it. If you let go, even for a second, the whole thing shuts down. That's exhausting. That's what dependency feels like to a woman. What started as passion quickly turns into weight. Now, don't get this twisted. Loving a woman deeply, caring for her, wanting her in your life, that's natural. But needing her to function, that's fatal. Attraction thrives on polarity, her wanting to be with you because she chooses to, not because she feels forced to hold you together. So, never confess to her that she is your entire world, your only reason to live, or your complete source of happiness. It doesn't make her feel cherished. It makes her feel trapped. Keep your own mission alive. Let her see you as a man who stands on his own 2 feet, who invites her into his life but doesn't collapse without her. Because once she senses that you're over-dependent, she won't see you as strong anymore. She'll see you as a liability. And when that shift happens, she'll never see you the same again. Secret 6. Your biggest fears about the future. Every man wrestles with fears. The fear of failure. The fear of never becoming the man he dreams to be. The fear of letting down his family, his woman, or even himself. And in weak moments, many men believe that pouring these fears out to a woman will make her love them deeper. They think confessing, "I'm scared of not making it," or "I don't know if I'll ever succeed," will spark sympathy and bring them closer. But here's the truth. It doesn't. It kills attraction. Why? Because women don't look to men for fear. They look to men for certainty. Even if life is chaotic, even if the future is unclear, she wants to feel like she's next to a man who can stand tall in the storm. A man who may not have all the answers, but radiates belief that he will find them. When you dump your raw fears on her, you don't give her comfort. You hand her anxiety. Suddenly, she can't see you as her anchor because you've admitted you're drifting too. Think of it like this. Imagine boarding a plane. The turbulence hits, the lights flicker, and then the captain's voice comes on saying, "I'm honestly terrified right now. I don't know if we'll make it." How would you feel in that moment? Panic, helplessness. That's the exact feeling a woman gets when you reveal your deepest fears about the future. She doesn't see your humanity. She sees your instability. And attraction can't survive in instability. This doesn't mean you need to act like a superhero who feels nothing. Women aren't blind. They know you have fears. But the way you frame them makes the difference. If you say, "I'm scared I'll never succeed," you sound lost. But if you say, "I know the path won't be easy, but no matter how tough it gets, I'm going to figure it out," you sound unstoppable. Same man, different frame. One kills respect, the other fuels it. Here's the reality. Women want to feel safe in your presence, not scared by your doubts. They want to believe in your vision, even if the world doesn't. They want to see you as the man who faces fear, but never bows to it. So, never unload your biggest fears onto her shoulders. Carry them like a man. Transform them into determination, not confession. Because once she sees you trembling at the thought of tomorrow, she'll never see you as the rock she needs today. And once respect fades, so does attraction. Secret 7. Your hidden resentments. Every man, no matter how calm he looks, has things that bother him in a relationship. The small, disrespectful comments, the way she tests your patience, the times she doesn't appreciate what you do. And most men make the same mistake. They hold it all in until it piles up, and then one day, they explode with a confession. They pour out months, even years of hidden resentment in one sitting, thinking it will bring closure. But here's the truth. Once you unload resentment on a woman, you'll never look the same to her again. Why? Because women don't respect men who bottle things up and then vent like victims. When you suddenly confess, "I've hated it for months that you talk to me like that," or "I've always resented how you treat me," she doesn't hear your strength. She hears your weakness. She hears that you've been silently tolerating what you should have confronted as a man, and nothing kills attraction faster than realizing the man she thought was in control has been quietly bleeding on the inside. Think about it. When you let resentment build, you're teaching her that she can cross lines without consequence. You're silently agreeing to her behavior while storing up anger. And when you finally confess it all, it doesn't sound like leadership. It sounds like blame. To her, it feels like you've been keeping score, waiting for the right moment to dump your pain on her. And in that moment, you stop being the grounded man she respects. You become the bitter man she wants to escape. Here's the secret. Women don't lose respect when you set boundaries. They lose respect when you fail to. A man who calmly, directly, and immediately says, "I don't tolerate that," commands respect. A man who lets things slide, then vents months later, loses it. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being decisive. If something bothers you, handle it when it happens. Correct it. Walk away if you must, but never let it rot into hidden resentment. Because once you confess years of bottled-up frustration, she won't see you as strong. She'll see you as passive, weak, and reactive. And when that happens, attraction dies. So never let hidden resentments pile up to the point where you unload them on her. Handle problems like a man in the moment, with clarity, confidence, and finality. Because once she sees you as the guy who avoids confrontation until it's too late, she'll never see you as the leader she once desired. Respect is built in moments, but it's lost forever when resentment replaces strength. At the end of the day, attraction isn't built on how much you confess. It's built on how much you control. Women don't fall for the man who spills every weakness, every fear, and every insecurity. They fall for the man who knows what to share and what to keep locked away. These 7 secrets aren't about lying. They're about protecting your power. Because once you reveal them, you can't take them back. Once she sees you through the lens of weakness, you'll never look the same again. Remember this: women respect men who stand tall, who lead, who carry themselves with strength and certainty, even when life gets hard. She doesn't want perfection, but she does want direction. And the moment you hand her your financial wounds, your insecurities, your temptations, your over-dependency, your fears, or your resentments, you're no longer the rock she leans on. You're the storm she wants to escape. So guard these secrets. Keep your frame. Stay the man of mystery, ambition, and self-control. Because when you do, she won't just see you the same. She'll see you as unforgettable.